What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Raising Kanan Power Book 3, Season 3, Episode 1. Long. Y'all know these power titles are long. Now listen, Raising Kanan is my favorite out of the whole series. I mean, the original Power is first, obviously, but out of the spinoffs, this is it for me. I don't know if it's the nostalgia of it. The acting, I think, is probably the best out of the spinoffs. And I think the storyline is actually probably the most believable and the best out of all of the spinoffs, at least for me. Y'all put it in the comments if you agree or disagree. We can talk about it. But we pick up literally exactly where we left off last season, which is kind of what we needed because the end of last season was so explosive with the Italians coming for Rock and they shooting up everything and everybody got shot. Marvin got hit, Rock got hit, and we saw at the end Neek came in and saved Rock, who for the last 2 seasons they have been at odds, and we're going to definitely see a whole new dynamic with the two of them this season. So the idea was that they was gonna blame everything on Crown because Crown is the one that ain't here no more, and basically they're gonna say, look, we helped invest. This is what they told the police. We helped invest in, my brothers always love music, so we invested in this studio, and Crown was doing all these illegal things through the studio that we didn't know about, and basically, the people came for everybody that was connected to the record studio, including us. Um, Rock is at the hospital. She told her story. Y'all know Rock know how to get a story and keep it down pat. She told baby brother, you stick to the story, put everything on Crown. Now, then we have this bad cop that they're talking about where basically this cop has been exposed for covering up all of these different crimes, and so all of these people are going to be getting out based on the fact that this cop is going under. So like all these moving pieces are going on, right? So we have Rock down at the hospital talking to the police. Kanan and Jukebox are at the hospital with her, basically to just help, confirm her whole alibi situation. Then we have Marvin. The dude in the wheelchair got Marvin out of the projects. Marvin is shot, but he's able to get to the store to clean out the store and protect whatever product, money, whatever they had there. And then, like I said, baby brother is down at the studio talking to the police, dealing with the shootout that happened at the studio. Right now, baby brother is pissed off at Rock, and him and Kanan are going to sort of connect over their hatred of Rock. So Neek go home, and guess what? All these questions that we've had for the past 2 seasons about Neek's brother and what his connection is to the current power and where he comes in, I think we're going to get some of those answers this season. Because guess who done got out of jail early? Neek's brother. Now, it was funny because, the voiceover, which is, 50 Cent doing the voiceover, was like, that dude that everybody in the neighborhood is scared of, that everybody in the neighborhood say just ain't quite right? Well, Neek's brother is the dude that even he runs from. So we're this, and it's clear that this dude, well, at least it seems like he is institutionalized and he is not happy with the way Neek is running things. So we're definitely going to see that power dynamic as this season continues to evolve. But brother done showed up early, and Neek's girlfriend just ain't comfortable with him because again, everybody know that he a little off. But where else he gonna stay? So, and it's interesting to me. I wonder if he'd have been staying at the penthouse. Remember when Neek had the nice little penthouse before they finessed him out of that last season or the end of season 1? I wonder where he would have stayed then. Anyway, so Omar Epps, daddy slash cop, he shows up to the hospital to basically see what's going on. Now, mind you, he's still supposed to be out on leave. He ain't even supposed to be nowhere. His boss is like, what you doing here, bro? He was like, look, I heard what was happening on the radio, and I figured this was an all hands on deck situation. Even though I ain't really supposed to be here because I got shot and I ain't supposed to be nowhere around all of this, I just figured y'all needed me. But of course, he's there just to oversee and make sure that Rock don't need him to clean nothing up because, of course, it's in his best interest that Rock don't get caught up in none of this. because of course his partner is still lurking. And who shows up at the hospital telling anybody who will listen, we need to look at old boy because he's a dirty cop. Kanan is his son, and he had something to do with all of this. Now, remember last year they were able to successfully make her look like she is the dirty one and that she's involved in stuff she shouldn't be involved in, especially as it relates to Jukebox girlfriend, her death, and some other odds and ends. So at the end of the day, basically the tide has turned against her. They're like, she ends up getting suspended. She had to give up her badge and her gun. And the boss told her, you just gonna have to wait to hear from your rep because you're really doing too much. Like, I told you to back up. I told you to stop. You were out here openly accusing your partner of being a dirty cop. And right now, we already got one dirty cop that got exposed. We done had half of New York get shot up. The last thing we need is for you to be out here throwing these wild accusations about your partner being dirty. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think the boss in the back of his mind believes some of this to be true. He just can't afford for any of that to really come out and to see how deep it goes for now. I don't think that Omar Epps is out of the woods. I just think that right now the greater good is for him to not get caught up in no bull hockey. That's all I'm saying. Now, Jukebox mama got, she got, okay? Basically, and then, of course, that's how that whole situation went down. And I kind of wish that we had a little more time with Miss Lauren London. But, that was not to be. That was not to be. So the next day, we head down to New York to where the Italians are. And, baby, Sal has to explain himself to Tony Danza. What's his name? Sam? I don't know. I feel like hold on. I wrote the names down because I said I'm going to do better this year with these people and these names. And I wrote that man name down, but I don't see where I wrote it. So we just going to call him. Nope. Stan. Steven and Sal. See, I told you I wrote it down. So Steven is a Tony Danza character who is like the boss of the bosses of the boss. And Sal, remember, he had to get permission from him to even go after Rock. So Steven is pissed off because he was like, you fumbled the bag. You fumbled the ball. Like, you did all of this shooting up, and we don't have nothing to show for it. And Rock is still alive. Like, what are you really doing? So now you done made it hot for everybody. The FBI is listening in on us. I done already heard that they infiltrating or whatever, and you got us looking real stupid. He told Sal to keep his tail on the other side of the river down in New Jersey. Don't come back in New York with his nonsense. Whatever he gonna do, tell him he need to handle it down there. So, Rock moves into her new home. Of course, she only got one arm right now because she got shot in the other arm. Kanan don't want to be there. Marvin miraculously, like, we never saw Marvin go to the hospital. The last thing we saw was Marvin taping himself up with a bunch of damn duct tape and some gauze. I don't know. I guess he went to the hood doctor. But I don't know where Marvin went. But one thing Marvin ain't stopped doing is eating. Because we know Marvin always keeps something in his hand that he is putting in his mouth. Okay, some peanuts, some chips, I don't know, egg rolls, whatever. So Kanan is like, listen, I'm not moving out here. Like, I don't know what all this is, but I'm not moving to the burbs. And Marvin was like, you live where your mama live. What you talking about? You ain't living here. This ain't your house. You gonna live where your mama live. Now, Marvin really doesn't understand to the full extent of all of this anger that Kanan has for his mom. And he's still practicing his breathing, which I think is a good thing because we know what Marvin is like when he's not practicing his breathing. So they sit down at the table. So Rock, I guess they can have like a little family meeting, right? So Rock explains to Jukebox why her mama was there. And of course, Rock lied about half of it because she made it seem like her and Jukebox mama had a whole conversation. And I don't remember them even doing all of that. Maybe I need to go back to last season. But I remember her showing up, wanting to talk to Rock. And I feel like the most she got out was that, Laverne beat that boy up. Because she was not there to make no amends with Rock. Okay, she was not there to make no amends. She was there to talk about Laverne, a.k.a. Jukebox, and the fact that she beat that boy up. But she did the right thing to try to give her some peace and say, look, your mother loved you. She was sorry about how things went down. She came to me to talk about how we could maybe, fix the situation is what she came to me about, which that's not true. And Kanan know that's not true. Then Rock turns to Kanan and apologizes and says, you know, this is a new day, a new leaf. I'm out of the game. I'm out. It's just me. It's you. And man, you need to rebuild our relationship. Well, Kanan ain't going for it because Kanan is like, listen, she can't lead the game. She love this shit too much, which he ain't wrong about that. Um, she was like, he can't. Like, he don't know how to let it go. He don't know how to lead the game. So, um, so anyway, so Kanan, like I said, Kanan don't believe it. He's like, ain't no way in the world she gonna stop being in the game. So then they brought up Kanan's daddy and how the cop is Kanan's daddy. And Marvin was like, I'm sorry, excuse me? What? I'm sorry. What? Can we need to rewind that because we already know DEFCON is Kanan's daddy. So what is this? So Jukebox ran after Kanan to try to convince Kanan to come back and work things out with Rock, which he was like, nope, hell no, nope, not gonna happen. And then Rock is there trying to explain to Marvin all these years how DEFCON is not really Kanan's daddy, it's really the cop. And Marvin took it better than I kind of expected Marvin to take it. And he understood the danger that she would have been in and Kanan if everybody knew he was a cop's son and how that would have really affected their credibility on the streets or whatever. Now, while all of this is going on at that nice new house up in, I guess, Connecticut is where they are. I'm not sure. Nice neighborhood, whatever. We have, the cop, Omar Epps' partner. We got her talking to her daddy, and her daddy is like, so you done really effed up the money, right? You done got suspended over some stuff that I told you to leave alone. And she was like, but he's dirty. She was like, her father was like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, you are really putting your whole career on the line for something that honestly nobody cares about but you. And she was like, that's part of the problem. That might very well be part of the problem, but let's understand that nobody cares. You are really putting yourself in a bad situation over something that nobody cares about. So he told her, listen, I'm going to go with you when you go to talk to internal affairs because I know how these people think and I know how they work. But I'm going with you. So when they do go down to internal affairs, baby, they done flipped this whole thing on her. They are talking about all the improper relationships and situations she done been in, from getting Jukebox out of jail to getting another girl out of jail. They're basically making it seem like she out here doing stuff inappropriate with the girls. Y'all know where they're going with that whole story. Then next thing you know, we see her meet up with her girlfriend, and her girlfriend breaks up with her. Her girlfriend was like, listen, I told you to leave this shit alone. My career, you're going to put me in jeopardy and everybody else around you in jeopardy. And I can't afford that because, listen, my mama is relying on what I can provide for her to help keep her feeling good while she basically, I guess her mama dying, but dying comfortably. And I just can't afford the heat. So she done lost her job or getting ready to lose her job. She done lost her girlfriend, her daddy mad at her. You done created this whole situation over your partner who, I mean, let's be clear. He is everything you said he is, but clearly nobody cares. And I'm just not sure at what point were you going to understand that nobody cares but you. Like, girl, nobody cares but you. Anyway, now while all of this is going on, Kanan made his way back to the projects, and he is there with, why I can't remember none of these people's name? Child. Famous, child. I just had to look it up. Okay. So Famous honestly is really like Kanan is trying to prove his mother wrong. He don't want to go back and live with his mother or live off of his mother. So he's trying to figure out how to create his own situation. Famous just want to get high. They done got an eviction notice and Kanan is like, all right, we got to figure out how we got to get some work. And Famous was like, look, you already know I ain't made for the streets. Like, we tried that, and I was not good at it. And you know I'm not good at it. So, like, whatever we do, I'm not interested in being on nobody's corner. And Kanan is like, okay, well, I'm not sure how else you think we're going to make some money. So, they end up going to Famous's weed man, who is like, ain't no way in hell I'm about to trust y'all with none of my product because he going to smoke it all. He don't trust Famous, and he don't know Kanan. Okay? So, that didn't work. And Kanan is really about, like, trying to figure out how to get around his mother and still get in the game, which is basically what he's trying to do. But now that his mama is getting ready to link up with Unique, I don't know how you go around your mama. But okay, we're going to get there, child. We're going to get there. So, Then we see Lulu talking to Marvin and basically letting Marvin know all the reasons why he mad at Rock. You know, like she killed Scrappy for no reason. Did she tell you that? Did she tell you she messed up and killed Scrappy? And Lulu is drunk this whole episode, right? So Lulu is definitely gonna be destructive because he not thinking right. He mad and he drunk, and that's just not a good combination. So Marvin, of all people, is actually trying to play peacemaker between everybody and Rock. Like, Rock has really created a vacuum where everybody's mad at her, okay? So then we see Rock meeting up with Howard. And they're basically saying how they need to figure this out. They need to, get Kanan back on board, bring him back in the fold because he dangerous out on them streets, angry, could say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and everybody be in a bad situation. We see where Jukebox Mama then sent a bunch of like keepsakes to Jukebox, and they're gonna have a funeral for her. And Marvin says, "Listen, I know that that church didn't leave a good taste in your mouth, but if you want to go to your mom's funeral, like I'll go with you." And they had a moment, and I was here for it. Like I could appreciate the fact that Marvin is really. I never thought that I would, because after what he did to her, I never thought I would get to a point where I was like, I guess forgiving Marvin, but I feel like I have forgiven Marvin, right? I mean, he was wrong for what he did to her, and definitely wrong for putting his hands on her. But I do feel like he's trying, and I feel like he's put some effort into being a better person. I really do. Now, do I think it's gonna last through this whole season? Probably not. But the effort is there. The effort is there. So they have a whole moment. He does end up going to the funeral at the end of the episode. Jukebox doesn't go. She just sits and listens to some of her mom's music. And has a whole little moment. And Marvin does go to the memorial service, to say his goodbye, I guess. So Rock and Howard, they go to confront Kanan. And again, Kanan is angry and he's just not hearing it, He's really not hearing it. Rock sees him living in, the hood, living in this disheveled ass apartment, hole in the wall apartment, and it don't even need to be said. Rock just kind of give him a look like, this where you would rather be rather than with me? Okay, cool, But they basically tell him he gotta get his shit together. Like, we need to be all on one accord, and we need to get it together. So basically, Kanan ends up throwing in their face, okay, well listen, what you gonna do about your partner? Because at the end of the day, your partner knows everything. She's the loose cannon. Don't worry about me. She knows that you my daddy. She knows that I'm the one that shot you. She knows that Rock sent me. She know everything. So at the end of the day, what you gonna do about it? And I knew then, in that moment, Bert wasn't gonna make it out of this episode. Now, it would have been interesting to see her last a little bit longer. But just the code of the streets, she couldn't afford to stay. Especially after Kanan laid it out like that. And Howard was like, I'll handle it. I'll take care of it. I'll handle it. Well, we knew what that meant. He said he gonna handle it. Now down to Unique's house. Unique's girlfriend is feeling some kind of way about the brother being there. And Unique was like, listen, he my brother. I'm really not sure what you want me to do. But I got a plan. Don't worry about it. Trust me. Well, he ends up running up out of there. And he runs over to Rock's house. I'm not really sure how going to Rock's house I'm not really sure how that's your plan to take care of your brother. Like, I'm a little confusion. Maybe when we get on the panel tomorrow with TSF, maybe CJ or Retro can give me some insight as to why all of this is connected, because I'm confusion. Okay. But he ends up going to Rock's house, and next thing I know, they having sex in the kitchen. There was a little confusion by that. Lulu reached out to Kanan to meet at the house. Rock is selling the house. Now, I don't understand why Rock is selling the house. Well, I mean, on one hand, I do. I mean, they done had 20,000 shootouts at that house, and the neighbors probably just don't want her there no more. But I'm a little confused as to why she's selling it. Why not let Kanan live there? Why not let, because Lulu was like, this is the house we grew up in. Like, she's selling it off like it just don't mean nothing to her, and it's just full of memories. So Kanan and Lulu end up getting drunk in the house that's half empty commiserating over their combined hatred for Rock. Then we see Howard reach out to Burke to meet him. So they meet up, and basically Burke is laying out everything that she knows about Howard. And she's talking about, I know you did this, I know you did that, I know you killed this person, I know you did this, this, and this. Baby, next thing you know, Howard just shot Burke in the head. Like, look, I'm tired of this. She was recording the conversation. He was smart enough to search all of her pockets and see what she had. So he found that she had bought her gun just like he bought his gun. And he found the recording device. So he wiped everything down. He was going to try to make it look like a suicide. And wipe off his prints and all of that. Now, I don't know if it's going, I mean, it's a TV show and it's the first episode. So clearly, Burke, unaliving herself, that is going to definitely be a major part of the storyline. Although it was a good setup. I mean, she's about to lose her job. Her girlfriend broke up with her. She's persona non grata. Like, it definitely plays. It definitely plays. Anyway, that was the first episode, which I thought was a great episode. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.